Greetings, everyone. Hope all of you are having an absolutely fantastic day. This is trash. This is absolute trash. I'm not going to pretend otherwise. If you all have been following the channel and following my Bloodlines 2 content, you all know I have been fair. I have been 100% fair. Well, you know, nobody can be 100% fair, but to the best of my ability, I have been fair and balanced in my content about this damn game. There's a whole host of people who basically dedicate their channels to shitting on this game anytime an update comes out about it. I have not been one of those people, all right? But we got to be able to call a spade, y'all. We have got to be able to call a spade. And the announcement they came out with today is frankly absolute trash and corporate greed, and it's unacceptable. What am I talking about? Earlier today, Gamescom show occurred. There was a trailer for Bloodlines 2, and they did announce the release date. It's going to come out on October 21st, which kind of sucks for me because I'm only going to have 1 week to play it before Outer Worlds 2 comes out, but that's fine. I'll deal with it, whatever, right? And then at the end of that trailer, they also announced that pre-orders are available. But I took a look at the information and whoa, this is without a shadow of a doubt a final middle finger from Paradox to the Bloodlines fandom. I just don't see any other way to look at this. So here's the pre-order details, right? We got the main game. Now there's the standard version, right? Which is just the base game. And then you can get the deluxe edition, which is gonna have the Santa Monica Memorial Cosmetic Pack. So you do get some sort of haven that you can decorate as you like, whatever, that's no problem. And then there's the premium edition, which gives you the Shadow and Silk DLC, which unlocks La Sombra and Toreador as playable clans. Are you fucking kidding me? For those of you who have never played Bloodlines before, let me make it clear. When you play a Bloodlines game, your clan is what's most important. Like, your clan decides pretty much everything about who you are, what you have access to, how people are going to view you. Like, a lot of that stuff is decided right from the beginning when you choose your clan. So your clan is a very, very big deal. Bloodlines 1 had 7 clans. Bloodlines 2 reduced that number down to 4. And a lot of people were absolutely livid with that decision. But not only did they reduce it down to 4, they actually have 2 more that are readily available for the fandom, but you gotta pay, guess what? A whopping $30 more. The premium edition is $90. The regular edition is $60. You've gotta pay $30 more if you want access to those last 2 clans. That's fucking crazy. There is no other way to describe it. That is insane. And then on top of that, again, the clans that you would have to pay to unlock are La Sombra and Toreador. Let's be clear, like, you can make the case for people who actually play the Bloodlines game that Malkavian is the most popular clan, right? Which isn't an option either, but we'll talk about that more in just a bit, all right? You can make the case for the collection of people who actually have played Bloodlines. Malkavian is the most popular clan. But when you look at the broad spectrum of the Bloodlines fandom, Toreador, in my mind, is pretty obviously the most popular clan by far. Like, when you think of the usual popular type of vampires, the Edwards, the Lestats, those type of people, those are Toreadors. That's the clan that fits with that whole outlook and mindset. And they locked that clan behind a paywall. That doesn't make any sense. That makes 0 cents. This is so disrespectful. I have never talked about this game in this fashion. I have always tried to be very, very balanced and I present this game. This is messed up. This is absolutely messed up and really not acceptable. And considering everything that people went through to get to this point, like how long folks had to wait after pre-ordering to finally get their hands on Bloodlines 2, to put this behind a paywall that I can just about guarantee you is not, this version is not what's available to people who originally pre-ordered. I can guarantee you the folks who pre-ordered way back when, they're getting this version. They're getting this version or this version at the very most. Everybody is going to have to pay to get this version to be able to play as a Toreador. What in the hell? How does this make any sense? I don't understand. I don't understand at all. But moving right along, let's just go ahead and talk about the general details, man. So they showed the trailer, and look, what I do appreciate about the way this game is being advertised is that they're advertising it as what it is. It's clearly going to lean heavily into the action. It's clearly not going to lean a lot into the RPG aspects of what we're used to from the original Bloodlines game. And they're not trying to pull the wool over people's eyes with how they're marketing the game. And I appreciate that for sure. I don't know if this was already advertised, but I was surprised to find out that there are sections where we will actually be able to play as Fabian, who is the Malkavian voice inside of our head, and we'll be able to use his Malkavian powers. And so that should be really, really cool, really interesting. The sequences that directly involved him looked amazing and very distinctive from other parts of the game. So I'm definitely interested in playing more of that. Everything in the trailers looks more polished. There's definitely been progress from when we first started getting videos about the game. Things look much better. The animations look less stiff, all the above. That's not completely true. We'll talk about that more in just a bit, but they certainly look better than where they originally were. And honestly, I think it's exciting considering everything we've seen in this trailer and what I saw in the Eurogamer trailer, which I'll talk about in just a bit. All of that is based on a version of the game that's still a couple of months away from release. So they do have time to brush up on more things, polish more things, get things even better. And for all of my issues with the game, I do not feel like the Chinese room is just phoning it in, right? It does seem like they really put some effort into trying to do some interesting things for the player, give you some cool things to do, and try to make this, you know, a full game experience. So while I don't think it's an adequate successor to Bloodlines, I think there's some things that at a basic level it should do that it's not doing. As I've been stating repeatedly, that doesn't mean it can't be a good game, or let's be honest, even a great game. It may not be my type of great game, but it could be a great action game. And so we'll see whether or not that actually pans out. All that being said, there's definitely some things regarding the trailer and the Eurogamer review that I didn't like. The Eurogamer kind of trashed this game a little bit, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. They basically said that it comes off as very linear, doesn't seem like much of an RPG. They said it's a whole big city, bunch of buildings and bunch of people, and you can't interact with the vast majority of it. And so it kind of just leans into and reinforces many of the fears that I've already communicated regarding the experience. And as I mentioned before, I do feel like the facial animations are better. They still feel stilted, still stiffer than what I believe they should be. Now, is that a death knell for the quality of the conversations? No, I had the same complaints about Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, but that game had great writing and great voice acting, and so because of that, I was still able to look past that and enjoy the conversations. And so maybe I'll have a similar experience here. We won't know until we get the game in our hands. But the final thing that I'll mention that the Eurogamer review definitely reinforced is that Fire, which is the name of your main character, if you're not already aware, Fire is a terrible name. It's an absolutely awful name, and Eurogamer said that there are multiple sections, even in the couple of hours that they had spent with the title, there were multiple sections where your main character basically announces themselves as Fire, and just listen to that, it just felt so cringeworthy. It felt like I'm gonna cringe every single time I hear my character reference himself in that manner. Like, come on, who thought this was a good idea, and why didn't anybody tell him differently? I don't understand. I don't understand. But anyway, that's the video. I had to get that off my chest. Wow. I really can't believe, after all of the complaints and the conversations regarding people's frustrations with the low amount of clans, the solution that they decided to come up with is, hey, pay $30 extra for the launch version of the game and we'll give the clans to you. That's insane to me. That's insane. And also, just to be clear, you have to pay that $30 to get anything that is in regards to the clan, right? So, of course, you wouldn't be able, if you hadn't purchased it, you wouldn't be able to choose the clan at character creation, and you wouldn't have access to the skill trees. But any outfits associated with that clan, because you're supposed to be able to mix and match outfits pretty much as your leisure. Just because you're a Bruja doesn't mean you can't wear Tremere clothing, at least from my understanding. Even the outfits associated with those clans, you got to pay that $30 extra if you want to get access to them. I haven't seen a launch disparity this bad since BioWare made everybody pay, what was it, 10, maybe 15 extra dollars if you wanted access to the Prothean party member. Like, that was crazy in and of itself. This might be even crazier. Anyway, that's enough. I'm done. Hope you all enjoyed the video. If you want more Bloodlines 2 content, make sure you subscribe, hit that like button, hit that bell so you don't miss anything. I definitely plan to live stream this game. I'm going to review it. I might even do some additional content for it. If I end up liking it, we'll see. So if that kind of stuff interests you, make sure that you're locked in here. Hope all of you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.